Hi, I'm Sissy, and I'm an art teacher. I use art not only to create children's stories and personal projects, but also use art to heal and release emotional traumas and stress. I want to teach you how anyone can and should create art at any age. So follow me as I teach you art techniques for your creative expression, but also for your internal well-being. My last video was all about the Inktober review. I went through all of the illustrations that I created in my little sketchbook and also showed some that I created with Procreate. You can see this video, I'll leave a little link up above. That way we can talk a little bit about how Inktober went. And now let's get into this video. Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In this video, I am doing a review of the Sennelier Abstract Acrylic Inks. And I create this little quick illustration of a kooky little bird. I have no idea what they're called. I am using in this review my Mosry sketchbook. It is a mixed media sketchbook where I have a whole bunch of watercolor, pencil, acrylic illustrations, and it took it quite well. So let me switch cameras and I'm gonna show you all about these wonderful art supplies. Okay guys, so this is VoiceOver Christine and I wanted to show you guys which supplies I'm using. I'm using these two Caran d'Ache water brushes and then a larger round brush and a small round brush. This is my palette. It is a ceramic dish. Those are the best to use for acrylics and inks and even gouache because the ceramic texture and finish doesn't really allow it to really stick. So it's much easier. So I would recommend go to a thrift shop, a vintage shop, secondhand shop, and get yourself a ceramic dish because they're the best. So here I'm showing you the colors that I'm using. It's primary blue, and I just grab a little bit because with inks, a little goes a long way. Here is the primary yellow that I'm using. You always have to shake them really well so that the pigment is well binded with the water and other substances that they use. Here I'm removing a bit of water because I had just washed this dish, and since it's ink, it'll just spread everywhere, and I didn't want it to mix with the blue. The other colors I'm using are burnt sienna. Here you can see it, mixing it, and then I'm grabbing just a little bit to add to the dish. I'm also using, let me see which other color I have. White, obviously. The white interacts a bit differently. I'll be talking about that more. I also grab, a fair amount of white because it is translucent. It's not opaque. And then I'm also using black. And it's always just a small amount. You can always grab more, but since they are acrylic, they do dry out very quickly. And here is a yellow-green that I'm also using. So first I bought the primary set, which is primary blue, red, yellow, and then black and white. That was a 5-pack set. But then I added some colors to my mix, which I'll show you later. So first I'm just going to do a little test on this paper to see how they interact and act. I'm going to be doing a wet on wet. So I have my bowl of water and I'm going to just spread water evenly over the page with my biggest brush because I'm very impatient. Nice and easy, spread it all over. I like it nice and wet because then you can really see how they spread and they give this nice even layer of color. And of course with a lot of water, the page will buckle. That's normal. If you have clips, use clips. I don't. I didn't have clips in the moment, so oh well, I'll just use my fingers. So here I'm going to be applying a bit of blue on the page. You can see how it spreads nicely. And I always like to do a little test page to see how the colors interact, how they look. It's just a bit of play. I think that's always necessary. And in a sketchbook, that's what you have it for, just to play around, to test out new materials, see how they interact, see what you can do with them, what they can do for you. This is the yellow green. It's a very vibrant, fluorescent almost green, like slime green you could say. I love vibrant colors, so this color is perfect for me. Then this green is a mix of the primary blue with the primary yellow, so it gives a regular good base green, and then I added some burnt sienna to that green that I had mixed, which gives a very neutral dark brownish green. Then I'm adding some white. As you can see, it's very opaque. And I'm adding it also to the top corner so it can mix with the blue. And then once this page is dry, I will let you guys see what it looks like. So now that I've played around a bit with my supplies, I am going to be creating a sketch. I picked this funny little bird. I'll have to look up the name of that bird. I just love the vibrant colors, and since I saw that these acrylic inks are very pigmented, they're very, very vibrant, I thought perfect, a vibrant blue bird with a colorful background is absolutely perfect. So I just did the sketch with my Royal Talons pencil. I believe this is just a B pencil. I always start from the bottom up. That's just the way that I draw. So I start with the feet of the bird. They're not called feet, they're called something else. But either way, no, or maybe they're called feet. I'm very, very knowledgeable when it comes to birds. I know all the technical terms. So yeah, so I just create the sketch. It was just a very quick and easy sketch. You can actually see that I am not speeding this up for you. This is a live time, accurate portrayal of how I am sketching this bird out. It was a very carefree, doesn't really have to look perfect type of sketch. That's how I like to approach my drawing because I feel it's the truest form for me. Since I approach art not only as a profession, but also as a very therapeutic moment, I really don't want to stress myself out with creating these perfect portrayals. That's something that I do with commissions, and that's also why I don't always take a lot of commissions, because I get boggled down in those moments and think, oh my God, it needs to be picture perfect for this person, and I don't feel as free. So in my sketchbook, and when I create illustrations or paintings for myself, or when I'm teaching, I really want it to be what is true for me, which is to create therapeutic, enjoyable, peaceful illustrations that really reflect my inner self. So here it's very carefree. It's very, very carefree. I'm looking at the image and I'm quickly glancing at my page. It is not me focusing on the lines that I'm drawing, but instead I am focusing on the reference picture that I found on Pinterest. You can see my tablet there in the top left corner. And so it's a very quick back and forth. So I'm looking straight at the reference picture and only quickly glancing to where I'm putting the tip of the pencil. So I will let you guys enjoy the rest of me drawing this, and then we will cut to the end of the painting process. I didn't record that for some reason. My camera decided not to record, but I think that's best. Otherwise, this video would be very long, and I'm going to talk about what I thought about these paints and the painting process, do's and don'ts. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, so as you can see, I am finalizing this little illustration of a booby. That's the name of this bird. Blue feet booby or something like that, but it's a booby. Yes, I'm very mature because I'm giggling about the name of the bird. That's how I am. So I really enjoyed using these. I have to tell you that if you are sensitive with smells, maybe you might be bothered by the smell of these. They have a slight smell. It's nothing horrible. It doesn't bother me, and I have a very sensitive nose. So there is a smell, but it's not bothersome, at least for me. But that's something to be aware of. I did really enjoy this. They act very much like inks, so of course they're transparent or translucent, and when layered on top, you can see the underpainting, so that can be used for or against you. For example, the wing of the bird, I first did a layer of yellow, of primary yellow, and then on top, while it was wet, well, not really wet, it was a bit, moist, it was a bit humid, you could say, the paper. I added a very watered down layer of blue, a little bit as you can see there, but before that I used burnt sienna to get that more of an orangey hue. So that was nice. It was nice to see how they layered on top of each other. I also really enjoyed the type of texture that I was able to achieve for the background, as you saw in the first part of this video where I'm just doing a test. It gives you this really nice granulated texture, and they mix evenly, like there's no seam or where it dries and it leaves that little crease of color. It did not happen here. Obviously, depending on how unevenly you spread the water, that would happen. It will. That's how inks are. These acrylic inks, even though they have a very smooth texture to them, it would still happen. And I did enjoy how the water interacted with the colors. It lightened it up in certain areas. And with this type of inks, I really do enjoy creating that black line. It really just, it's able to pull apart the different areas that I really want to pull apart. I really loved them. I really did. It was fun to create this little illustration and play around with them. I think that this bird was the ideal test subject to create. I would recommend these. I mean, Sennelier is an amazing art company. They are passionate about their products. They create different ranges, of course. They're the cheaper kinds and the more high class. And this is part of their abstract line. Within the abstract line, they have acrylic paints that are very heavy body. They also have these like paint markers or paint tubes, and then they also have these acrylic inks. I'm not sure if they have any other products to this abstract line. However, I'm a fan. I have some of their acrylics that I have used for my workshops, but I also have their higher end acrylics, and I've also used their watercolors, which are amazing. I'm a big fan. I'm a very big fan. I've also been to their store in Paris. It's this quaint, beautiful, small, tiny shop that it feels like a labyrinth of art supplies that you can get lost in. It's just amazing. So I'm very much happy with creating reviews for this product. I mean, of course, I bought these with my own money. I'm a nobody, so it's not like this huge multi-million-dollar or euro company sent me these. I bought them at the local art shop here in Brest, and I would recommend them. I mean, they're not cheap. They cost, I believe, €6 something per bottle. So it's not a cheap material. However, it will last you a long time. Like one of those bottles, since you only use just a little bit, what you saw me put down on my plate is how much I use for that test page and for this. So it's a lot. It is a lot. They're very vibrant. They give amazing results. Of course, it really depends on the paper that you're using. Since I was using a mixed media paper, I believe this is like a 200 gram paper. It's very thick. It takes a lot of water. It has a nice grip to it. So, of course, I mean, they acted really nicely. I would have to do another test to see what happens with like my regular sketching paper, because I love painting on that type of paper. I love the crinkly paper, I just love it. Or on my craft paper, and see how it interacts. But that would have to be like another video on paper and different type of papers and what happens with different type of materials. That's a really good idea. Because even though I love using Arches hot press paper or cold press paper, I also use Canson a lot. It's very good paper, it's cheaper. I love using my Leuchtturm sketchbook. It has very thin, just regular sketch paper. Nothing special about it. And I love that text. I love that sketchbook. I absolutely love it. So no need to be investing in really expensive paper if that's not what you want, because it depends really on what you're trying to achieve. So sometimes cheap paper is the way to go. There's another YouTube artist that I follow called Sandy Hester, I believe is her last name. And she has a video where she talks about cheap paper. She's an amazing artist, and she uses she really beats these pages to death with her beautiful paintings. I would definitely recommend her. I think I've mentioned her before in my videos, but here I am mentioning her again. She has really, really great videos where she does also art hauls and paper reviews, and she talks about her life as an artist. So I would definitely check her out. So here we're ending my little illustration of the blue-footed booby. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to come back and watch my upcoming Draw With Me workshop tutorial that I'm going to be doing with gouache. So I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.